Welcome back to more coverage of the 12 Hours of Sebring here on the Auburn iRacing YouTube channel. We're back with the BMW as we are in the final hour now. You see on your screen under 53 minutes to go. And it's Logan Smith right now in the driver's seat of that BMW. This BMW, as a reminder, Logan Smith, Steven Russell, Stuart McFall, and Nathan Roth. You've seen all four drivers in the car today at one point or another on the broadcast, Logan being the final one today, and Logan is on a march forward right now. He's a minute and 47 seconds back of 18th place, but you'll notice all the way up to 19th for this team, that when we left them in the middle of the day, they were 27th, so a bit of a rocket up the scoreboard here late for Logan in the BMW as we are under the lights now, or under the headlights, I should say, here at Sebring. It is nighttime as we're driving around, and this is where you really got to listen to your spotter. It becomes a bit precarious because the faster traffic behind you is all going to be approaching all that much quicker, as it's harder for you to tell what it is by just the headlights behind you. So awareness absolutely key down the stretch here at Sebring. You're going to see the final half hour-ish here of this BMW until we get to about 30 minutes to go, and then we'll take you home with Cam Youssef in the Mercedes. But it's been a great last few hours for this BMW right now. You see on your screen the lap times that Logan and then the driver in front of him are both running, and you'll see almost a second and a half faster was Logan than Christian Jorge in front of him for that Harvard team, the Brazilian number 7 car. Currently a minute 42 in front, and here is that Porsche. You see the second pair of yellow headlights on your screen right here. That is the Harvard team. And this has always been my favorite part of endurance racing, is the nighttime. I think this is your biggest test of driver skill. It's harder to see your marks. You have to be extremely dialed in. That concentration and consistency has to be turned up to 11. I think this is where you find out who is the best at being able to maintain their pace and who your strongest drivers are. A lot of the time is who can gain speed in the nighttime. As LMP2 car here behind Logan, and a GTP, excuse me, as well, of the Porsche right there, as they're both going to go by through the hairpin. Logan just staying wide. Again, the marbles out there have now gotten viciously difficult to work with at this point in the race. Over 11 hours in, it's definitely not going to be good if you run offline. A lot of the time you're going to get some pretty dirty tires, but Logan continues to work around the track right now. Let's cut up to our overall leader right quick just to update you on them. It's still the Hypernova Motorsports GTP, the number 21, but you'll see now they are up by 2 laps on the Canadian Radian Motorsport team in second place. So this Hypernova team has been consistent all day long. It's Nick Summers back in the car, who was in the car last time we were with you on this broadcast for the BMW. Those guys are flying. And then it's still the number 29 out front in LMP2 as well. Earlier it was Australian driver in the car, now the British driver in the car of Matthew Quinton. They're out in front of Duroc Racing right now by 3 laps, and then another further lap to BRC team, the number 69 car, in third. So leaders have really established themselves at this point. We also have a leader by a full lap in GT3. That Can-Am VRL Porsche that we've seen is out front. And the Ferrari, which was leading for most of the day, is now nowhere to be found in this team list. You see the number 27 is gone out of that top 10. So an incident for the Ferrari has taken what was the fastest car all day in this category out. Now you see the Can-Am VRL Porsche leading the way by a lap over Midwestern Racing in another Porsche. So a duo of Porsches up front, then Scuffed Racing in the BMW, who's worked their way nicely back up through the field. And then Stauder Racing, that German team, the McLaren, back in fourth. Most of these cars are spread out by gaps of multiple laps at this point. The ones that are not, we have a pretty close battle between 6th, 7th, and 8th right now, between QLC Black P2 Racing, but see it on your screen right here. Here's the QLC Black Corvette, and the two cars behind him are both for position. So that Mercedes you see just in the back of your screen, 2.1 seconds back, is for position, and they will continue to try to close. Is now 1.6 seconds. You see here is that Mercedes trying to close in on the Corvette in front. This is the closest battle on track right now, just 1.9 seconds between the two drivers. But cutting back to Logan here, you see down towards Sunset, it's been a strong bit of pace from the driver in the number 33. He did his first sports car race of the season on Wednesday in the CIL Sports Car Challenge and dropped a few places at the start, just wanted to keep it clean, he said after the race, and not affect any of the series regulars. Did so well, dropped down to about 18th, kept the car clean, but worked his way all the way back up and finished top 10, finished 9th in that race. So Logan has experience driving through the field late in these races, and you've seen him do it again today as he is all the way back up into the top 20, something that looked a bit unlikely earlier in the day when we were with you at the midpoint. But we are 313 laps into this 12 hours of Sebring. This is when, in real life, it really starts to test the reliability of your car. Thankfully, not an issue here in iRacing is parts randomly breaking, but you're still testing the reliability of each and every one of your drivers. After being in the seat for this long, multiple stints, some guys as many as 4 different times in the seat today, and the concentration is really on display. The endurance of the driver is really on display at this point. And then your engineers as well. All these engineering teams, they don't get breaks. They don't get time out of the seat. They're all working with one another in the war room for most of the day. I know they have a little bit of a rotation, but still they are most of the time at least around for the majority of the day in that war room. And those guys all still have to be on their best and on their toes. We're expecting one more stop, just a little bit of a splash and dash for Logan down the final stretch to get fuel back in this BMW and get him to the finish. But through Le Mans here in the dark, down back towards Sunset, it is nighttime here in Sebring, and this is the time that you make your money as a driver, if they were getting paid. But you'll see on your screen as well the leader of GT3, which we were mentioning earlier, that Can-Am Porsche. His last stint, Logan was behind that Porsche and then straight up jumped him. So it is race leading pace in this BMW right now for Logan Smith. He is absolutely flying. You see 2:01.9 in the bottom right compared to a 2:04.6 for the car in front. There's a minute 33 in front. So nearly 3 seconds faster per lap. That confidence, it can be such a difference at night when you have that extra speed from a confident driver who knows their marks and is trusting themselves in the darkness versus someone who's maybe running a bit more tentative down the stretch, just looking to protect position. But Logan has his mindset on continuing this march forward. And 3 seconds a lap is definitely going to get you there pretty quick if maybe a mistake can be made in front of him by the Brazilian in the Harvard team Porsche. So Logan will continue to work his way forward. You see, in a nice bit of clean track right now, about almost 10 seconds ahead of the GT3 leader on track at the moment. You see he has a GTP behind him on the track map, but other than the two GTPs sandwiching him, he's pretty much all on his own on the track right now, exactly where you want to be. And that feels like it's been the case for the BMW a lot of the second half of this race after the couple of incidents that they were in. Other than when Logan has been mowing guys down, they've been in a lot of clear track for a lot of the day today. And I think that's really helped them been able to push back forward, is the free air to be able to run times consistently, not have to worry about aero washing guys, cutting across the nose, tightening the car up. When you're all by yourself, you can be a little more tactical about when you let the GTP cars by. You get caught in friendlier locations sometimes when it's just you out there, and you can control that situation a little bit more. As you'll see right here, friendly location again, let the GTP by, and then get right back ready for turn number 2 here. So strong racing from this number 33 BMW down the stretch. Is now 42 minutes remaining, a little bit wide there, but left side tires stay on the curb, still all good to go through Big Bend, headed down towards the hairpin. Got to think those right sides will be a little bit dirty, but he should be okay here in the braking zone. Take a look at it here. Yep, nice late apex, and then rides that left side curb off the hairpin up through Fangio and towards Cunningham. Still great pace, 2:02.6 that last time for Logan. So a little bit slower, but still 2:02.6 compared to a 2:04.2. Nearly a second and a half faster for Logan still right now. And here we join our 8th place team. It's Logistical Nightmare, one of my favorite team names in the field today. Also in a BMW. They're closing in on the Ferrari in front, though that is not for position, you'll see, but still a little bit of a battle between these two maybe. Blue flags would be in effect, you would expect as well. As that is, I was trying to see the paint scheme on that Ferrari. That is not the former race leading Ferrari. That is the green and black one that we've seen multiple times today. As Logistical Nightmare trying to get through cleanly. I will say, for a team named Logistical Nightmare, they've been fairly clean today, holding on to 8th position right now. They've been running top 10 for the vast majority of the race as well. It's been anything but a nightmare for that team so far. Some clean racing. We've seen them make some nice moves as well on some guys. It's been good driving, as it's Chris Lee dos Santos right now in the cockpit of that number 16 BMW. And he is also running some great lap times right now. 2:01.6 for this number 16 compared to the car in front, who is 23 seconds up the road. Ran a 2:02.4 last time, so about 8/10 in favor of this BMW to the Mercedes in front. So another car trying to close quickly down the stretch with 39 minutes to go now, or under 40 minutes, as this Ferrari is a little bit in the way here. You got to wonder if the blue flags are in effect when the Ferrari is going to listen to him here. Because there is not a Ferrari in the front of the running order. Yeah, there we go. Now he's out of the way. But we knew that was a car behind on a different lap, so good on him to get out of the way there. Jumping back down to Logan, you see him through Tower, and off of that corner headed down towards Bishop. This is such a cool corner to run in the darkness, just your headlights illuminating as you fly through, not lifting at all through that double left-hander. And then this is a section of the track that's already extremely technical, and you have to be even more careful to pick your lines correctly in the darkness. It's hard to see through. Obviously, no floodlights here out on this portion of the track at Sebring, so everything you're doing is just by the way of your own headlights in that car. You have to be extremely concentrated, really on point, and we're seeing that from Logan right now. 2:03.0, so a little bit of time given up on that last lap. You wonder, maybe some traffic. There was an LMP2 that just got by him recently, as now you see another LMP2 on the back of him. Yeah, there it is, 2:01.5 that time for Logan. So more of the times that we were expecting for this number 19. He is still flying forward, trying to chase after this Harvard team BMW in front, trying to close the gap as the time continues to wind down. As I think if there's a mistake from that Porsche in front, Logan might be in with a shout to catch up if they have a big moment. More LMP2s closing up behind him. You see another one in the background there. As this is the Harvard team Porsche in front that we mentioned. Logan's got it down to a minute 24. And remember, when you joined us, that was over a minute 30. So a lot of time taken off already by Logan. Obviously, it's not going to be enough to catch him on pure pace by the end with just 37.5 minutes to go. But if we see some kind of incident, maybe a little bit of a scruffy area with a GTP or LMP2 that sends this Porsche on an off-track excursion, I think that would be a route for Logan to get up back into P18. But still, the rebound has been impressive from this Auburn BMW number 33 all the way down in the 30s at the start of this race after 2 incidents, and they've worked their way back up consistently. We saw them in about 27th at the midday, and then they've been on a charge through the back half of the day, kept the car clean through the middle, and absolutely had the hammer down for the last portion of this race today. You see Logan on your screen here again. Another LMP2 closing in on him as they go down into sunset. LMP2 going to go wide, cut back in. You'd expect him to cut under out of the corner and go by here down the straightaway as Logan will pull out of the way and let him by. Good awareness there from the Auburn driver. And for Logan today, we have not been able to mention him yet as we've not been on the broadcast with him in the car, but Logan is a senior from Hayden, Alabama. This is his 4th year with the team, and a man after my own heart, collects NASCAR diecasts. I've got quite a few of those myself here at home with me, so definitely something we share in common as he continues to press his way forward. But another veteran driver on this Auburn iRacing team, 4th year of experience, and he's absolutely putting that experience on display, working his way quickly up through this field here under the darkness at Sebring. Through Tower, a little bit of GT3 traffic here. You see the BMW in front of Logan here. Red, white, and green as we take a look down into the braking zone. As these two cars, you see Logan trying to look for a little bit of space to get by. Let's see how wide he goes compared. Yeah, you see a wider line out there from Logan. He's going to cut in, try to go under this BMW. He's all over the back bumper, cut to the inside, and going to try to work his way by right here of that red, white, and green BMW. Was not quite able to catch the illuminated green number there on the back window of that BMW, so not sure if that was a car that was ahead or behind Logan in the running order. I think it was a double-digit number, so that was a car in 26th place. So yes, it was blue flags there for Logan, so that BMW hopped out of the way, but still solid pace, 202.5, as he's consistently mid-202s or lower when he's either not having to jump out of the way or in clean traffic, he's living in the 201. So quick pace here for this BMW as he continues to push his way forward. But the engineering team on this BMW today, who we've got to mention a little bit earlier, Jackson Marcinet and then Joshua Blunt both doing work on this team today. We've heard from both of them at different points today as far as strategy decisions. As you saw a car off the track there for a moment, that was the GTP leader, but managed to gather it back up and put it back on. Obviously, hard to tell paint schemes sometimes here in the darkness, but that was the Hypernova Motorsports car. You see brake rotors glowing just a little bit too much, a little bit too eager into that corner, but gets back on, gets back going. When you have a lead of a lap, you can afford one mistake like that as he continues to work his way back by this traffic. we've got just a couple minutes left here with the BMW before we take you to the finish line today with the Mercedes, but let's ride on board for a lap here at Sebring with Logan. He's got some space by himself, so let's give you a feel of what it's like to drive Sebring at night here before we leave the BMW for the day. So, wide entry into turn 1. You've heard about the lines all day long. You want to stay on that grippy rubber that's on the track, not go in the marbles. You see a bit of a later apex there from Logan through turn 1, keeping it a bit tighter. Now down through 2, tightening corner, into 3, back the right-hander, and now 4, another left-hander. You see it tighten on the exit. Again, that's harder to spot in the darkness, so you really have to wait for it to come into view as you come around. Be careful on your throttle pickup. Now down through Big Bend towards the hairpin, under the gantry there. You'll see the late apex is there. It is right there. Good line from Logan. Left side tires on that curb. Then you stay right all the way through here. Up through Fangio. This Fangio chicane, letting a GTP by right there. Shouldn't have any more behind him for a couple moments at least. Now into Cunningham. Staying right, then letting it roll out left. Up through Collier. Stay on that curb. Drift back to the right side by that curb. Then out to the left again. And a late braking, you clip that point of the curb where it juts out the most through Tower, and then you're on the dash down towards these couple of fast left-handers at Bishop here. Over the curb, braking point here for the first of these 3 corners. Right-hander, stay on the curb again, and the left-hander, you're going to take it out wide, wait, and then back on the power through Lamar. And now you're heading down towards Sunset. After the sun has set here at Sebring, it's a difficult braking point to spot. You have your cones as a reference. You have a couple lines on the track you can use as a reference as the other GTP goes by. Let the car roll wide and then slowly come back down, clip the apex, and then pick back up on your throttle. Use the banking on the exit there. And that is a lap of Sebring here at the dark. But we are going to leave the BMW boys to take this to the end. It'll be Logan all the way to the finish in that BMW, currently running 18th right now as the Porsche that was in front of him, or one of the Porsches in front of him, has pit. But Logan still with a stop to make as well. We will update you on the results of the BMW once that finishes and we get that info, even though we'll be on the Mercedes at the end of the race. We will try to get you the finishing info of this BMW once we hit the finish line of this 12 hours of Sebring, but we're going to go join the Mercedes here in just a couple moments. Good race from the BMW guys tonight. We'll let them take it home safely, and we'll be back in just a couple minutes to bring you to the finish with the Mercedes.